Hello again, class. We're doing more words, words, words. And again, remember last time we did prohibited words. This time we're going to do precise, vivid words versus vague, dull ones. And then finally we're going to do active and passive voice. And our objective here again is to identify and use precise, vivid, active word choice to enhance meaning or style. That'll make your writing better. Even without getting into the revision of sentences or paragraphs, you can do a lot just with the words that you choose. So precise and vivid versus vague or dull. And I don't even know who these people are, but they seem precise and vivid. Whereas this is a little bit boring. And in fact, that's boring Oregon, I believe. First of all, look out for overused general or vague words. I mean, if you're using, even if they're not precise or vivid, you don't want to use any one word multiple times. Maybe you have a very nice, precise, vivid word, but you use it a lot. Well, you want to try to use some different words. So overused is also something you should watch out for. It's a very easy revision to make. Look down through your paper, and a lot of times you can just see the same word being used over and over and over again. You may want to revise that out. Also, this is kind of the interesting thing. Don't choose fancier words or rely on your thesaurus. Because look, we do big. We get into the thesaurus. Gargantuan, humongous. It has more syllables. But it really does not get any more precise. You have no better picture of what that looks like. Always strive for precision, being precise. Big versus hulking, or towering, or plump. You can see that if I go with any of those three words, I'm going to have the much better picture than I would if I just used big, or if I just used gargantuan or humongous. I have no picture in my mind about that. You can choose better words. So that's what we're talking about here. Let's start with nouns. The dog jumped on the boy. Was the dog a pit bull or a chihuahua? It makes a big difference. I'm going to say that it's the cute chihuahua. Let's move on to verbs. Verbs are engines. Avoid, state of being verbs. It was, there were, he is. You have a lot of those. Probably can add some action. Vague verbs limit clarity. Those are like get, say, go, make, take. They have many connotations. And you actually want to get more precise. So I want to go over some pictures here. What's the best verb? This person is walking. But we could probably choose a better verb. We might say she's sauntering or sashaying or maybe even strutting. Those would give a better picture. If the picture were taken away, our readers would be left with a more vivid picture. Again, walking. But what is this person doing? This person is walking differently. You could say that they are striding. It gives a sense of confidence. I don't need to say walking confident. I don't need to say striding confidently. I can say striding. I might say he's hurrying, something like that. But it's all better than walking. What about this? Maybe plodding, marching, something like that. All these things, all these subjects are walking, and yet they're doing very different types of walking. So we can capture that just in our word choice. We don't need to add adverbs as we talked about in the previous lecture. Prefer livelier and more accurate words in general. Let's talk about a scholarly context, which is actually you're going to be writing a lot in that context in this class. Scholars say. We can do better than that. How about argue, state, assert, posit, claim, suggest, etc.? Any of those have slight nuances of meaning. You can go very strong with what you want to say there. You can kind of suggest, I think, it suggests a little less certainty. There are nuances of meaning there that are more precise and are a little bit more livelier and accurate. Let's talk about a creative context. He got the dog out of the river. He rescued the dog out of the river. She walked into the room. She stormed into the room. She sashayed into the room. She raced into the room. Here's another thing that you can do. Prefer verbs to nouns. Issued a warning versus warned. Made the discovery versus discovered. You can get rid of a lot of words that way, and you get some economy in your writing. And I think you also make it a little bit more, a little livelier. Adjectives. Adjectives, if they're needed, and oftentimes they're not needed because you can choose a better noun. If adjectives are needed, make them as specific and vivid as possible. Teacher put on his soft sweater. Teacher put on his cashmere sweater. More precise. That's all we have with precise and vivid words. Next, we are going to be talking about active versus passive voice.